everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am absolutely petrified today because I can't remember the last time I did a gel set of nails. So my lovely Emma has finally returned to me. Now we can touch each other again. So I haven't done Emma's nails since before COVID. Bless her, she's
I killed them.
She's had a rough year. And her poor nails have taken the beating from it. So we're going to make them look pretty. And I'm I'm going to experiment. So I have got some lovely tips. Here we go. Which I've never used on anybody. And I think I actually even bought them for you because they were purple.
Yeah.
And your favourite colour is purple. So because we need to tip these nails anyway because there is no nail, I thought, you know what? Let's try them. Let's go sparkly. And I'm going to try and do like a bit of an ombre because Emma is a gel girl. But, you know, builder in the bottle. We were well ahead of our time, weren't we, Emma?
We were.
Yeah, we were. We were absolutely ahead of our time. It's a big thing now, but of course, back when we were doing them, virtually nobody had gel nails.
Nope.
So my sister's always acrylic, Emma's gel. Tips are always interesting because, yeah, if she keeps them on for 2 weeks, I'm just going to be happy. So this is what we're going to do. Obviously, we're going to do the cuticles have not been touched probably for 2 years either. We're going back to basics. So I'm not going to talk all the way through this. I will voice over later. But I wanted to do my intro. And now we can put the music back on and enjoy it. So, ta-da! Put you over there. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I don't know why that popped into my head. Oh, you're going to be so funny for the first few days of going.
I know. Yeah. I've just washed up before I come out. I'm like,
I've got nail hands. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't touch everything.
I know. It'd be nice to get back to some kind of normality. Get my hair done tomorrow, so that would be nice.
Oh, lovely. What colour are you going?
Not quite sure. I think I still want to try and get like that silvery, whitey, platinum-y colour potentially, but yeah, it might just have to be like a creamy blonde, but it's the roots that bug me because they're so obvious. But yeah, I think they just need to put tone on it. See, the first time she did it fine, but then the second time she did it, it was still quite yellowy. So I've messaged her that and told her, so.
Oh, you're one of those kinds, are you?
Well, I thought, yeah, because she did it fine the first time and then, yeah.
Can't do it the next one.
And isn't it worse than getting your hair done and being annoyed?
Did I just turn it off?
I don't know.
Probably. Yes, I did. Oh. I was obviously organised enough to...
You were, weren't you? Oh. Are you sure? Uh-oh. It's not broke.
Okay, this is a good start, is it? Okay, so I have spared some of this up because, you know, this video would be really, really long. I'm not going to lie, I was absolutely bricking myself doing these nails. I was like, I haven't done Builder Gel for like, yeah, it must have been coming on with 3 years, let alone doing Builder Gel and tips and on short bitten nails. And I'm like going, okay, yeah, that it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, this one definitely challenged me and it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, shall we put it like that. But it was worth it. It was all fine. It's all fine in the end. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge. So I'm coming in, first things first, we need to sort these cuticles out. She's done nothing to her cuticles for 3 years. And Emma used to be really, really good. You could guarantee she would use a cuticle oil every single night before bed. You know, she put a moisturiser on her face. She'd then put a cuticle oil on. She was really, really good at it. And obviously that's not been happening. But actually her cuticles weren't dry, it was the opposite. They were really soft and sticky. So yeah, we need to get that off, otherwise it's not going to work. So this has been sped up. I am really not doing this as quick as it looks. But it was just easier to do it like this. So I'm coming in with just my usual cuticle routine. I will come in with my ball bit. Well, it's not a ball bit anymore, but it used to be my ball bit, but now it's kind of rectangular shaped with a round bit on the end. I don't know how we describe this shape whatsoever, but I'm going to come in with that next. And then, then I got pushed out of my comfort zone. This is like where I went, oh my God, no. Because even after that, there was still so much cuticle. I was like, I'm actually going to have to get my nippers out. I'm going to have to nip this off because there was so much of it, just the dead cuticle everywhere. It was just... Now, I hate using nippers, right? I do not use nippers ever. The whole process of it just makes me want to gag, actually. I don't know why, but I really don't like using them. I'm absolutely petrified I'm going to cut people. They are not my thing. I tried using the scissors, but that was way worse when I tested that. Not on Emma, I might point out. This is when I was first learning to do cuticle prep, and part of my course was you could either use the nippers or you could use scissors. And I hadn't had much success with nippers, so I went for the scissors, and I was like, oh, no, I'm actually going to vomit. Can't do this. The nippers work a lot better, but what I found is nippers come in two sizes. The length of the actual blade part, if you like, of them. So I've got a pair that's really small, and I like them because it's much easier to get in and to work it round. But they do come in bigger ones, which is where I fell short when I was practicing originally, because I was like, it was fine on my husband who's got really big fingers, but for smaller fingers, I was like going, no, this isn't going to work. And it didn't. So yeah, I changed over and I got some smaller ones. Now, these were not sharp enough. They just weren't. You know, I've not been using them for cutting cuticles, let's put it that way. So no, they were the only thing that I had to go with. I couldn't use my other ones, which are actually they're actually like toenail nippers. But I use them to take gems off, which works really, really well, just to crack the gel to get gems off. But there was no way I was using those on her cuticles. So I had to go with the nippers. And like I say, I did not want to be doing this, but it had to be done, and it made a huge difference once I'd nipped them. I have now bought myself a new pair of nippers, just in case, that is purely going to be kept for this purposes. Just in case. I have a lot of stuff actually in my collection that's my just in case stuff, going, I don't need that right now, but you know, I might need it, so you know, just in case, I'll grab those. What else was I going to say? Yeah, no, I'm going to move past that subject before I actually make myself vomit. Oh no, I'm such a wuss, aren't I? But yeah, so we're still on cuticle prep. The other thing to mention on here, so because she's bitten the nails, what's happened is, and it's been for such a long period of time, where the growth is right in front of her actual nail, the skin has gone upwards. So normally, see, your nail would go over that skin and come off the end of your nail. So the nail bed itself it's flat, it's not protruding upwards. This is really difficult to explain, but if you look at her finger, can you see where the nail ends? The skin next to it actually sits higher than the nail itself. Because the nail's been that short for so long, the skin's kind of pushed upwards a little bit. Am I making any sense? I'm hoping I'm making sense. I don't know how to explain it. But if you know what I mean. And what that does is, because the nail then isn't where, or you know, the end of the nail would normally be, when you're putting the tips on, it kind of tries to push the tips up as well. which makes it a bit more of a challenge. There was no way in hell I was getting a sculpting form on these. That wasn't going to be an option because there's nothing there. Even the edge of her nail, like I say, because it's kind of sitting more into the skin, to get a form underneath there, it's just going to push everything up. It wouldn't work. So that was not going to be an option. So I knew I was going to have to tip her nails. And by the way, she did not warn me of what her nails looked like beforehand. No, that was a surprise. Cheers for that. But yeah, and then obviously because the nail bed itself is so short, when you're putting the tips on, everything looks slightly out of proportion, because normally and you'll see when we put the pink on it later, it would be a lot further forwards, and that white part of the tip would actually be on the white part of the nail, which would be pretty much off the end of, of the nail bed, of the finger. That's where it normally is, but it isn't on a nail biter. So it changes the proportions of the nail, and there's nothing you can do about that. That is just as it is, but it will grow. And the idea is that we protect that nail, we stop her from biting that nail, and it will grow underneath, because she's always been a nail biter. I was doing her nails for a good few years, and she had beautiful, long, healthy nails, but we found the gel just really worked for her, because she was having all the acrylics done at the chop shop, as I call them. I went to that chop shop. Never again. It's kind of how I ended up doing acrylics, actually. It was kind of the start of this. And I don't know, we found with acrylics, like they were quite heavy. She was lifting them a lot. It was, I don't know, I can't even remember how we ended up with gel, but we ended up giving Builder Gel a go, and from there it just worked really, really well for her nails. So yeah, we stuck with the gel, and so yeah, I was kind of ahead of the trend, because now everybody's like, oh yes, it's all Builder in a bottle. It's, I'm having a BI. What was it? Builder in a BIAB. BIAB, yeah. And everybody's like, yeah, look, I'm having this done. I'm like going, yeah, that's not new. It's been around for years. It's just suddenly become this big thing. I think maybe because it's cheaper than people doing acrylics. I don't know, because if you get a really good Builder Gel... No, actually, I would say that my gels are definitely cheaper than my acrylics. Not that I get crappy gels, I don't. I use the Silcare gels. I've always used the Silcare gels on Emma, and I've never had a problem with them at all. So yeah, I was ahead of the trend on this one. But having not done it for so long, I'm like going, oh my God, what am I doing? And then being presented with this challenge, I'm like, no, fuck. Right, so we've done all the cuticle prep. Now we are buffing over the nail, the natural nail. And what I'm trying to do is just get rid of all of the shine, because we don't want the shine. You're only going to see me work on one hand, and it's really annoying, because what I should have done is videoed the other hand, which actually went a lot better than this hand. But no, I didn't. I videoed this one. Now, considering the fact I hadn't done it for so long, I should have thought about this one and gone, do you know what? I'm going to do the first one first and then see what happens. But do you know what? I've learned from some of my mistakes here. When you've got the Builder Gel, you kind of aim for the middle of the nail and just let it move itself. And for one of the nails, I just missed it completely, and I got it too far at the sides, and then it got messy because you're trying to clean it up. And, the thing, you can always file it, okay? You can always file it. I think I ended up getting a bubble in one of the nails as well, which was quite irritating. But on a whole, considering everything, I was happy with this set. Whether she can keep them on for 2 weeks is a whole other matter. Right, so that is the prep done. So now we're going to move on to putting the tips on. So I always buff the whole nail before I put tips on because I find it makes the tips stick better. I've also, there was 2 reasons why I chose these tips. One, they look friggin' awesome. I've never used them and just thought, you know, shall I go nice, plain, boring? Because considering I haven't done them for ages. No, why would I make my life easy? No, I went for shiny tips. I have never used these tips before and I thought, do you know what? Let's go with it. The other reason is, so these are flat tips, okay? And they've got, so the white part is actually where you put the glue. So they're not seamless tips. They've got a little bit, oh, what the hell do it, half well tips. And they're flat because most of my tips are kind of like C-curve tips. Because when your nails grow, most people do actually have a natural curve in their nail. Not many people have really flat nails, but when you're a nail biter, your nails are flat. And these were as flat as a pancake. So it's like, I can't use those tips because they're not going to work. They're just going to ping off. They won't sit properly because it's got that bit of skin as well that's in the way. It's not going to curve around the nail properly. So I had to go with plan B. Some of my tips, I got some nice kind of white tips, but they're turned cream. Yeah, because they've been in there forever. I don't use them because I have the ones that I like to use. So they've just been sat in my cupboard. And I haven't had to tip anybody for years either. So it's like, I looked at them and went, no. So I could have gone for some clear tips. In fact, I was going to use I got some kind of small, kind of oval shaped ones, which I could have used and filed into shape because they sat flatter than my other ones. Or I had these and she was like, let's go with those. I'm like, are you sure? Because these are a little bit, you're going from no nail to suddenly going, wow. And she was like, yes, go with it. I'm like, okay, let's go with it. So we did. Now, like I say, when you had the nail proportions, normally that white bit would be much further towards the edge of the nail. So it does look slightly odd. But what we're doing is we're kind of going to make it look like, so we've got a white tip and we've got a purple tip. So like it's a double French, if you like, but different colours. And then when she comes in for a fill, it will still look like that because we're just going to infill at the back, but it will have better proportions for the nail because we've got that little bit more nail bed than we had before, which is obviously what we're aiming for here. So stick those on, file them down. I do not file them into shape at this point, right? Yes, they are very square nails, because you can guarantee the minute I try and touch those sides or whatever, they're just going to ping off. I'm using the CJP gripper glue actually, and I like this. This was good. I liked the gripper glue, but still I was like, I'm not risking it. I will sort the shape out when I've got the gel on it, and I know that these tips are not going anywhere. But I did just take the length down a little bit. And then I come in with my e-file just over that white part, just to blend it a bit more into the natural nail. And that's why I like the e-file, because you can really get that precision of where you want it. Because I didn't want, if I use just a normal file, there's a good chance it will take the glitter off the other parts. And I don't want that because we want the glitter in there. Oh, it feels like I've talked for absolute forever. That's probably because I had. Sorry, I just had to disappear for a moment. I'm in the middle of playing my game and somebody just... Oh, these little level 25 little squishies. I'm a level 60, so I'm a big tank. They were like, oh, can you come and help to sort this for us? Like, yeah, all right, come on then. Oh, I feel epic now. Anywho, I digress. What are we doing next? Ah, yes. So I'm just going over with my e-file. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to dehydrate the nails. Only dehydrate the natural nail. You don't need to dehydrate the tip. It's not alive. It has no oils itself. And then I am going to use the Silcare. Oh no, I'm going to use Pro Bond first, which is my acid-free primer. Here we go. There we go. Dehydrator. And then we're going to use some primer. It was really fun, to be honest, as much as I was absolutely bricking myself for this set. It was so nice to catch up. And people say to me, going, oh, why don't you do this as a job? You know, why don't, you know, you could earn money and stuff like this. And I'm going, that's not why I do nails. You know, this is, my friend comes round. Nails is the end product, if you like, of it. The point is, we sit there and we just natter and we write the world and we catch up on each other's lives and what's going on. And it just makes you put in your diary, right, you know, once a month or whatever, every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, whatever, we're actually going to sit down and have a catch up. Because it's bonkers. We actually live 3 doors away from each other and hardly ever see each other just because of the way our jobs work and life works. And, you know, it's just bonkers. It really is. So it was just really nice just to reconnect, you know. What am I doing next? Okay, so so next I'm going to come in with the Silcare Pro Bond, whatever it's called. This is basically, so if you were doing like normal gel nails, like with the gel polish, you'd put your base gel on. This is like the base gel that I'm going to use, but it's really sticky. It's a connectivity gel, so it just makes the product stick a lot better, and therefore, you know, you're not going to get so much lifting and they're not going to be pinging off and things like that, which is why I use that one. So what you do, you use a little bit and you scrub it into the nail. You do not apply it like a base coat. We do not want any thick layers whatsoever because it won't work properly. You need to scrub, and that's why I get a separate brush that's a little bit, it's a shorter brush, so it's better for scrubbing it in. And again, this is just going on the natural nail. We're going to cure that in the lamp, and it's a 60-second. I think it's only a 30-second cure for that one actually, but I stuck it in for 60 seconds because base gel is normally a 60-second cure. And yeah, I wasn't paying that much attention, so I was just like, yeah, we'll just stick it in for 60 seconds. It really doesn't, you know, it's not going to end the world or anything on that one. Whack that in the lamp. And so we're back into real time now, so apologise, because normally what would be happening is I'll work on one hand, that'll be curing, I'll work on the other hand. But on this occasion, I was literally doing just one hand, because I also wanted to see if this was going to work or not. Otherwise, I was going to have to go with a plan B. So the nails are still in the lamp. And whilst we were doing that, we were talking about the cover gel we were going to use. And in the end, we swapped to, this is the base one, which is also by Silcare, but this is their light cover. It doesn't cover as well, but the skin tone was a lot better and worked a lot nicer than going for the darker cover. And like I say, you know, this is a work in progress. This is part one. When we're going in again, as this grows out, we'll be changing the design up from there. So we come in first with a slip layer. So you do a thin layer and you do not cure it. Very important. And this is going to help your gel flow when you get to it, you know, when you put the next part on. And that's what I mean about you just put the gel in the center, because that slip layer will help it, and obviously gel moves anyway, but it will already start to spread to the sides. So the pinky, I think, was, or I think it was either the middle nail or the ring nail where it was like, that's not worked quite so well. So yeah, I've just filmed a couple of the nails rather than all of them. And like I said, put it back into real time so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and you're wiggling it. Wiggle and tease, wiggle and tease. Acrylics is pat and press, pat and press. Gels is wiggle and tease, wiggle and tease. I just like saying that. Wiggle and tease, wiggle and tease, wiggle and tease. I'm doing a little dance at the same time. I am wiggling. And then we're going to cure that in the lamp. These are 30-second cures, these ones. So we're only doing part of it. We're just doing the nail bed and just a little bit over the white. Okay, because the white is quite harsh and we didn't want it that harsh. We wanted to soften it a little bit. And then what we're going to do, we're going to come in then with clear and we're going to cap the nail, because obviously we need to cap that front part because that's just a tip with glitter on. If we don't cap it, it's just going to get damaged. It's going to get ruined. So it needs to be clear. But we didn't want to put, obviously, the cover colour all over it because otherwise that's just going to ruin the look. So we're going to swap to clear very shortly, and you're going to see what I'm going to do with that. I really need to stop talking for a moment, so I'm just going to let you watch this bit. Okay, so then we are going to file these nails. Oh, I forgot what filing gel nails was like. Oh my god, it's like filing butter. It's just amazing. I'm using a 180 grit file on these nails. I generally use a 180 anyway, to be fair. But then the big one with this one is make sure you buff. So we're going to file these nails. We're going to make them all pretty. Oh, it's just going to be so beautiful. Yeah. I did catch a cuticle with my file on one of them. The problem is, you know, I did. I admit the fact. I did. Which is a bit poopy. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Managed to go all this way without making a bleed at any point, which I was just petrified the whole time. I was like going, these cuticles are just so... Ugh. Like, this is not going to go well. She's just going to end up with blood everywhere. But actually we didn't. We did really well. I was probably chuffed. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to file. We're going to buff. Hopefully she is going to come back. We have a bet on now whether or not these are actually going to stay on 2 weeks. So I've just said to her, look, you're just going to have to do it as a 2-week one to start with. Because, you know, you've got to get used to having nails again. I'm saying, oh, you're going to have your like, little crab claws. Little crab claws. Yeah, that's me. I know you can't see me, but I'm doing the little crab claws at the moment. Because obviously it's awesome. Yeah, so she's a 2 weeks. We'll see if they've all stayed on. If she does, I mean, that's pretty friggin' amazing, and I'm totally taking credit for that. If they haven't, it's totally her fault. Absolutely. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're short nails. We went for long nails. She's just so chuffed she's actually got nails on again. You're like, she's happy as a little biddy. So yeah, and at the end of the day, so long as she's happy, it's all that matters. I think I could have done anything with her nails and she was just happy the fact she had nails on, to be fair. I don't think it was really to do with the wonderful nails I put on her. She was just like, oh, I've got nails, I'm so happy. Isn't it cute? So there you go. I thought this one's a totally different video to my normal ones. I thought I'd give you lots of stuff in it. I know, aren't I nice? It's beautiful. I've really run out of things to say though. Oh, one thing I would say. So this video is going up, and then I've got my sister's video going up after that, and then there's going to be a break. There's going to be a week where there is no video coming, which is the week before all of the Glitter Stella videos start to happen, because I need a rest basically before the onslaught of what's coming next. I haven't even done my own nails at the moment. I've literally taken off my gel polish, I've buffed my nails, and put some cuticle oil on that, and that's it. I've got nothing, absolutely nothing going on with my nails whatsoever. Which is really, yeah, proper boring, isn't it? And I was umming and ahhing going, oh, yeah, I'll do my nails. And I thought, you know what, I know. I just know I haven't got the time. I just haven't got the time. So, are we nearly done with this? We're on the thumb. Now we're going to give these a little buff. And then we're just going to put some top coat over the top. And that's it, basically. So that's it for this video. Like I say, I thought I'd add in some different stuff. So you've had a whole load of filing, and we will be back for her infill. Whatever that may be. We shall see. We shall find out. Hopefully you will join me too. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.